But first, Memorial Day is a day for honoring and mourning the U.S. military personnel who have made the greatest sacrifice for this country. And there's maybe no better place to honor their service, sacrifice, and their history than the Castle Air Museum in Atwater. So joining us now is Joe Pruzzo, CEO of the Castle Air Museum. So Memorial Day, people get this confused sometimes with Veterans Day. So this is a more somber day. It's a perfect day to visit the museum.
Exactly, and you hit it right on the head. It's Memorial Day.
Yeah.
We remember the lost men and women who served in uniform to defend our country and our way of life, our free way of life. So this is a day of remembrance. It started actually after the Civil War.
Yes.
And it was Decoration Day up until, I believe, about 1971 or 2.
Yeah, so it's been a long history and a tradition.
History. Right.
And so at Castle Air Museum, what are you guys doing to remember?
Well, we are having the museum, of course, will be open. We'll have our presidential aircraft open for viewing as well on Memorial Day. We have a lot of great things here that you can purchase to remember your loved one, or just in case, maybe you have an aircraft enthusiast or a history enthusiast. We have these lovely items in the gift shop. This actual Air Force button-down shirt, which is custom made by a lady whose son is serving in the United States Air Force. The material is all special. Every airplane that's in the active Air Force is on this shirt. So you could wear that with pride.
That's fun.
We also have this little thing for the little baby and tot in the house. Choose your weapon. So, there you go. How cool is that?
So you can come to the museum. You can walk through history in the open air museum, take a look around. What are any new projects that you're working on, or anything new that people might be able to see?
Well, they can see the A6 Intruder out there, which we just rolled out. However, there's over 80 aircraft out there and walking through about 80 years of military aviation history from before World War II. And of course, you'll see the World War II airplanes, the bombers. And when we say that, we think of 2,000 bombers flying toward a target area.
Yes.
And that's 20,000 airmen. Now, I do want to mention that in some of those raids, it was not uncommon to lose 70 bombers. That's 700 men on one mission, something that's unfathomable today.
Yeah, that's why, those cemeteries sometimes are so sobering because it's such a visual representation of what we are trying to remember on Memorial Day.
Absolutely, and also on Memorial Day, if you want to see a Congressional Medal of Honor.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you can see General Frederick Castle's Medal of Honor.
That's right.
Awarded to him posthumously because he actually was shot down on Christmas Eve 1944 over Belgium. And part of the reason was he didn't want to drop his bombs on friendly troops. He allowed his crew to bail out before he could get out. The airplane actually exploded and it fell to earth. So we actually have pieces of his airplane on display. So that'd be Memorial Day.
Yeah.
All of these things, and it's also a tribute to many of the men and women who serve today. But we look at World War II. World War II, believe it or not, there's still almost, I believe, 50,000 missing in action to this day.
And so knowing those stories and hearing those stories makes it real to people, and it connects you a little bit more with your history and with your country.
Absolutely.
So Castle Air Museum is a great way to spend the day on Memorial Day. But coming up in June, there's something a little livelier.
Yes, there is. We're having a Crafts, Food, and Spirits Festival, which means crafts from around the region. And I don't mean, purchased from someplace. These are homemade crafts made by people throughout the region. So they're very unique, a unique gift. I mean, hey, let's face it, in 6 months, Christmas is coming up.
Oh, God, stop it. Oh, my goodness.
So we also have a lot of local wineries, a lot of great food, and of course, great spirits and things like that to have. So you got to come out and check it out.
So that's
in amongst the other
17th.
Saturday, June 17th.
And do we need tickets to that?
No. Just come to the gate and you can come on in.
Okay.
And we also, by that time, should have a coffee bar in our gift shop, which is called the Copper Wings. They're targeting June, the first week of June, to open. So coffee, soda, espresso, and maybe some small pastries. And
that'll be such a great way to spend a weekend, spend a day,
Absolutely.
do a little educational weekend with your kids this summer. Go to the coffee bar, get some iced coffee, and walk around history. All right, Joe Pruzzo, thank you so much for being here with us today. We always appreciate
My
it.
pleasure, always a pleasure.
Coming up here, after the call to serve their country, these veterans answered the call to serve their community, why they serve with the American Red Cross of the Central Valley, and how you can join them after this.
I see on Casey stories of everyday people